If the Economic Services Committee, sir, needs to interact with Gaisuko, it is the minister who it must write and who heads the team. If we need to visit the skeleton factory, we must get the approval of the Minister of Agriculture. And if we need a document or information relating to Gaisuko or sugar, it is to the Minister of Agriculture that we must write. It is our view, sir, that it is for the Minister of Agriculture to determine policy and probably set targets in consultation with the board. But it is for the board of directors and the management of Gaisuko to execute policy and to meet targets. Given all of the above, sir, one is bound to consider seriously whether it is not the case that the heavy capital investment in sugar is more consistent with political calculations than with economic ideas and logic. While the PNCR1 Guyana wishes this industry well, we cannot, in honesty, say we are excited by its prospects. Then we are told, sir, that other agriculture is projected to grow by 2.1% as agricultural diversification program and Grow More campaign continue to reap rewards, so the minister tells us. Back in 2007, sir, we were told that, and I quote, as a net exporter of food, Guyana is well poised to take a larger share of the US $3 billion food import bill of CARICOM, end of quote. Sadly, Mr. Speaker, we have heard nothing since about the inroads we are making or hope to make in 2010 and beyond into this market. You would also recall, sir, the rather emphatic announcement by the Minister of Agriculture a few years back when he proclaimed that the 3 Ps, namely plantains, pineapples, and peppers, would make great production and export strides. Well, sir, I have in my possession the annual report of the Bank of Guyana for 2008, because 2009 is not yet available. And this is what it reveals at table 10.1. Giving the year 2000 an index of 100, the production of a number of commodities is measured in relation to that index for the years 2001 to 2008. The 2008 index for plantains was 11. Pineapples, 41.2. Peppers, 41.5. Cereals and legumes, 10.8. Cassava, 9. Other ground provisions, 13.8. Sir, among the non-traditional commodities, only in the case of coffee and poultry meat was the index higher than 100. It seems, therefore, sir, that there is no reasonable basis for great expectations anytime soon, even with the Minister of Agriculture's effervescence and buoyancy. Mr. Speaker, if we examine carefully the picture for growth in 2010, and indeed coming forward from 2007 and before, what is and has been significantly missing is the laying of a true foundation for the facilitation, encouragement, and realization of sustained strong economic growth through private sector investment, and in particular, foreign direct investment. I hope we would all agree, sir, that a growth rate of 2% and 3% per annum for a low middle-income developing country like Guyana is hardly the basis on which prosperity can be built or expected in the foreseeable future. In this regard, the PNCR1 Guyana believes that there are 4 prerequisites for true take-off growth. They are: 1, comprehensive reform of the tax system; 2, clear and uniform ground rules for investment without the imposition of ministerial discretion; 3, a facilitating institutional framework; and 4, an aggressive program for seeking out investors and investments. The budget is conspicuously silent on all of them, and because of constraints of time, I will briefly deal only with 2 of them. First, tax reform. In the 2008 budget speech at page 41, the Minister of Finance said, and I quote, "Our government is firm in its belief that our tax system must promote our competitiveness as an investment destination. It must be simple and efficiently administered." End of quote. Sir, truer words have never been said. We were also told then, and I quote again, in 2008, we will conduct a study of our tax system to determine how we can implement further tax reform. End of quote. Sadly, sir, there was no reference whatever to the study in either the budget of 2009 or 2010, though we are told at page 51 of the 2010 budget speech that, and I quote, "consideration will be given to options for tax reform." End of quote. Here are some of the facts, sir, that a review of the Guyana tax system was done in 2008. But for all practical purposes, it has been gathering dust. Here, sir, I want to say, are some of the findings and recommendations from that review. 1. Guyana tax yields have been high over a long period. Among lower middle-income countries, Guyana ranks #1 with an average tax yield of 33% compared to the group average of 17.7%. 2. Employees in Guyana are relatively heavily taxed. The income tax threshold is $35,000 per month, and there is a 33 1/3 flat rate of tax on all income after that. This is coupled with a 5.2% employee NIS contribution. On top of this, employees like others in the society pay a broad-based 16% VAT, as well as excise taxes and import duties on a number of consumer items. 3, sir, again this is what the study finds, Guyana has high and differentiated tax rates on business income, 45% on commercial companies, 35% on non-commercial companies, and 33 1/3% on all unincorporated business. Within the Caribbean, sir, corporate tax rates range from 40% in Barbados to 36% in Suriname, 33 1/3% in Jamaica, 30% in Haiti, and 25% in Belize and in Trinidad and Tobago. There are recommendations in the report, sir, that the rate could be lowered, the rate in Guyana could be lowered to a uniform 30%, with confidence that with such a rate, Guyana would be providing an effective foreign investment incentive. Guyana, and this is the fourth observation in the report, Guyana has consistently scored poorly across a range of different country ratings that reflect the risks and costs of doing business in Guyana. It should be mentioned here, sir, that as regards ease of doing business in Guyana, Guyana is ranked in 2010 at 101 out of 183, slipping 3 places from a rank of 98 in 2009. Mr. Speaker, I call on the Minister of Finance to urgently address these issues as a matter of the highest priority in the interest of attaining significant and sustained growth. Second, an aggressive program for seeking out investors. This task could be undertaken by an energized and restructured Go Invest. However, this institution did not even earn a mention in the 2010 budget speech. In 2009, we were told that a revised investor roadmap and investor guide were to be completed in the year 2009. In addition, 3 additional sector profiles were to be completed. But alas, we have had no word on any of this. We repeat our suggestion that in all sectors in which we need investment, we must work the international fora and the international network where investors are gathered to prosecute our cause for investment. We must become more proactive.